Okay, Shalom, Shalom. Kwam Yasha'Allah, Koholoyimla, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rahakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who were well led by the Spirit, taught us this beautiful truth, and just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan the Waf. Just coming at you with another quick lesson and praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And I wanted to touch on this article, or just to show the reach of Esau, the reach that this man has to basically ruling the world. Job 9:24 talks about how the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof, if not where, who is he? And this is one of those examples right here with this particular story. Now, if you remember this back like 2 years ago, this guy right here that you can see, the little blonde-haired, blue-eyed, 17-year-old, inspiring football player, you know how they give you all the, the attributes as to, he was this very beautiful son. He was, when he walked into the room, he brightened the place, all that bullshit, right? So this was the guy that ended up committing suicide after he sent some nude pictures to supposedly these Nigerians, which he thought was supposedly a girl, right? Which, what the fuck are you sending pictures of your body to somebody that you've never met and you don't even know, and then they, pretty much it's been a lot of scams like this that's been going on. Anyway, with this social media is tearing Esau ass up. There's a lot of cases like this, but the reach that they have is what I want to point into, is that now here you go, you got the Jeffrey Epstein files going on, right? These guys is all the way over in fucking Africa, in Nigeria, and they had them extradited here to the Americas for this so-called white boy. And we say so-called because he's actually pinkish to reddish in color. He's damn near he's mimicking that color of that football jersey that he has on. But this shows you their reach. You see, you have the reach to go all the way to Nigeria, or have, because Nigeria has to, bend and go for the bullshit because of just overall the reach of Esau. This man, he runs the world. He runs that region. That lets you know that, because the average Nigerian leader or president or whatever they have over there, you know what I'm saying, even from a small town mayor to whatever, would say, nah, we're not sending these young men to America to be in their jail system for 20 years damn near for this guy being stupid as hell. He couldn't handle it. They started to, how these cases go. They send you that photo. They send you that pretty much that blackmail note, and we're gonna show this shit to everybody. We're gonna expose you. Your parents are gonna see it. All this other stuff. Well, he should have just bit the bullet. He should have just been like, well, fuck it, go ahead. Look at me, I'm sexy. He was sending the shit like he was sexy anyway. He should have just went ahead and just took that L. You'd have been the laugh of the town, possibly, or the talk of the town, possibly, for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But overall, the reach of Esau, where he's able to extradite people from a whole nother country for something like this. Because this is his fault. This is his parents' fault. But guess what? You know why this was able to go through like this? Because he's a so-called white boy. And we see this in a lot of cases. When it comes down to other races of people, you don't see America going all hard for other races of people. See, but see, these Edomites, they'll go in rally mode, man, at these town hall meetings and shit like that, and throw up billboards. They'll spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and shit to promote they want justice. Come on, bro. So I'm at this, the light just changed, but let me get this Job 9:24 real quick, like when I can. Salakia, bear with me here. driving, Salaki. You don't want to, Well, we already know what it is. I can just go ahead and just quote it. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? You think that America would send 2 so-called white boys to Africa for a sextortion case? Do you really think that? Like, we know full fucking well America's not sending nobody he might say they might send some niggas, but they ain't sending no two so-called white boys to Nigeria. You can forget about that. But but like I said again, here you go. You got this Epstein file. You got the list. You got the information. You know all this shit. I was listening to. I want to finish listening to it, but this damn Edomite, his damn voice was so fucking agitating. I couldn't listen to. I had to take a break from listening to him, but I want to go back into it and listen to it. But he was on this show. And shit, he was going into some information about the Epstein files that I just didn't know. Like, I didn't know these motherfuckers was trafficking girls as young as 10 years old. Matter of fact, they was talking about one guy actually buying and actually owning the girls in Europe somewhere, that they was, ended up getting them passports and shit like that, visas, whatever, to come to the Americas. They was talking about Trump, complaining about the blow job he was getting from one of the little girls and the hand job he was doing, just something. I'm thinking to myself, like, what God now? Like, well, where all this shit come, And this stuff is out there, like, it's like, and so Trump acting like he don't know this guy, but he's in all these damn pictures. So now he's fighting and going hard as hell, trying to keep this shit out of the news. So that's a real black eye on this guy right now. But the point that I wanted to make is that they have all this information on you. They talking about thousands of girls. Okay, so you've been PDF filing thousands of girls, but you don't want to put this out here and make this public and let the people see real justice coming through. So that lets you know the names that they was bringing out, man. It's like, number billionaires overall, So we don't see this shit coming to light. I highly doubt that this will ever come to light. It's, all those names that I heard them naming off in that list. I'm like, well, damn. Girls as young as, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then once they got caught up, they was calling the girls prostitutes. Like, the girls was basically, they placed themselves in that position on their own. When these motherfuckers is basically being kidnapped. Either way, it's still, you can say what you want. All right, well, your old ass is still out here having sex with a minor, whether they was prostituting or not. You see what I'm saying? So Esau is being, uncovered right now, man. But to just show you the reach that they can extradite two, and them could have been Jakes too, because a lot of Jakes is in Nigeria. But for you to be able to extradite these two guys all the way to the Americas and sentence them to damn near 20 years for this so-called white boy, which I would say is so-called a young white man, because, he was definitely of age. Only here in the Americas do they treat treat motherfuckers like they kids until they 21 years of age, right? But they extradited these guys here and gave them damn near 20 years for this guy sending butt-naked pictures to who he thought was a chick, and then he couldn't handle and let's just say it was the girl. Let's just say it really was a so-called white girl that he was sending these pictures to, and she threatened to do the same thing. You think they would have gave her 20 years? They would have just brushed that shit off like, these are children, these are, these are kids that, just had bad judgment. And they wouldn't have gave that bitch nothing. See? But that shows you that perpetual hatred too that Esau has for Jake. Because these could be some Jake, or they could just be some straight damn Hamites. Either way, I'm just looking at the reach, the power that this man has to extradite somebody from a whole nother sovereign country, so to speak, and have them come here and sit in a damn court system that they don't even know anything about. Like, what's the show? I'm not justifying what these niggas done, because it is wickedness. But yep, here you go though. See, this is how they rally around, Says Nigerian man extradited to U.S. accused of sextortion of South Carolina teen who died by suicide. See? This is how they get down. They're going to go hardcore and look out for their own. But you think that, and this happened a few times, man. You think that, because you know them Nigerians, they be on some shit. And this was that was South Carolina, the one I just read. This is the story I'm familiar with. It's in Michigan. Because, you know, I remember this being, you know, this is where I'm from. And I remember this going down at the time. And he couldn't handle it. And he ended up, I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly how he deleted himself. But overall, I mean, still, you know, he should have just sucked it up. And then, you know, the scripture talks about training up a child on the way he should go. And when he's older, he will not depart from it, roughly paraphrasing. So, you know, you had his damn mama. I don't think I seen no husband or nothing like that. But, you know, his mama trying to act as if he's this damn 3-year-old. Well, you raised him up with that silly ass mentality, man. Instead of manning up. But again, like I said, the Americas, this is the only place where a motherfucker is treated like a complete goddamn kid until they turn 21. It's crazy. This is a young man that should have already had a wife with children. In the ancient world, he'd have had a couple of women if he could afford it. But anyway, I am at my destination, but this is the guy right here, as you can see. Let me see if they got a better picture of him in here. Because, you know, he got that typical American so-called white boy surfer look. I'm at the plantation and, you know, at my little location here. But, hey, I just wanted to touch on that. And, hey, it's 11:44. So, hey, enjoy the rest of your day. But, hey, this is Esau, man. This is how we know who the man of sin, the son of perdition is, man. So, with that, shalom.